Hey guys, it's me, Jazz. First, I want to say thank you to everybody who has been checking on me, sending me messages, sending me Twitter messages, things like that. I do want to apologize for not responding to some of your messages, like from Twitter. I'm really not on there a lot, so that's why I hadn't responded, but I do want you to know I did get the messages. I did get some of your personal inbox messages and some of the messages on the other videos asking if I had her and things like that. And I did. So this video will be my labor and delivery video. And then I'll, at the end, let you guys meet Bella. And then after that, I will do a separate video going over my first week or postpartum week, along with what's going on with Bella, what has happened in the first week with her life here on Earth. So I'm gonna get into my story. I'm gonna try not to get too emotional because it was a really beautiful time. So here we go. I do apologize that Nate is not in the video. Really wanted him to be in the video, but that first week we were kind of like getting acclimated to the baby and being parents, so we didn't get to a chance to do the video, but I am doing it today and he'll probably be in the next few videos. So here we go. I'm trying to do this before she wakes up because she is sleeping. All right, so here it is. It was Saturday, September 24th, and our plan that day was to just go to the mall, walk around, get some exercise and things like that, because my due date was approaching, which was, the doctors had me scheduled for the 27th, but her ultrasound said the 26th. And I was getting concerned because I was still 1 centimeter dilated as of that previous Thursday at my other doctor's appointment, and he wasn't really confident that she would come, the week after the appointment. We were thinking that she was going to be late and we would have to induce. So on the 24th, me and Nathaniel, we went to the mall and we just basically were like, okay, we're going to just hit some stairs and walk around. And then, try to do this the natural way, or at least get me right so that I could, at least come by my due date. So anyways, I have this receipt, and this will always mean something to me because this marks the time in which things kind of began. So we got to the mall probably around 7:30, and we were a little hungry, so we grabbed something to eat and we went to Panda Express. That's what this receipt is. It says I got what I wanted at 7:41 p.m. So 7:41 p.m. we sat, we was eating our food, laughing and joking, looking at people, joking, stuff like that. That's what me and Nate do. Then after we got through eating, there's like a whole bunch of, there are like some stairs there. So Nate was like, okay, we're not getting on the elevator, we're gonna hit the stairs. So we hit the stairs, we was walking around, went to some different stores, went to H&M, went to Rave, then we went to Macy's. By then it's about probably 45 minutes to an hour, no, about an hour and 15 that we've been there, because I need to include us our eating time. So anyway, so when we got into Macy's, we walked around, looked at some things, and then as we were about to leave, all of a sudden I kind of felt like this different kind of pain. If you guys remember, I told you guys previously that I felt like cramps and stuff like that, but this was a different kind of pain. It was kind of sharp, and it was like in my stomach but on the side, to the point I had to kind of stop and breathe. But then I was like, okay, maybe it's nothing. So then we walked, and Nate was kind of like, okay. And no one wants you to have a baby in the mall or, in public anywhere. So anyway, so we kept walking, and then I would feel it again. So we kept walking, feel it again. I really wanted some yogurt. It's frozen yogurt, and it tastes so good, and I love it, love it, love it. And you can add like different fruits and cereals and stuff to it. But I really wanted some, so we went there, got that. We were walking around, felt another sharp pain. So we was like, okay, well, let's just go home and rest, because by then I think we had walked around for maybe 2.5 hours. So we got home. By the time we got home, it was probably like 10:45 p.m. So we got home, we were laughing and joking. I was laying in the bed. I was laying at the head of the bed, and Nate was laying at the foot of the bed, so we would be facing each other. So he was on the phone talking to his friends and joking with his old country self and his little accent. I don't know what they were talking about, but it was funny, I guess. But as he was laughing and joking and having a good old time on the phone, I was feeling those pains again. I was like, okay, wait a minute. But I didn't think nothing of it. So Nate gets off the phone, and he's like, now we need this baby to come out. She needs to come out. I was like, no, she'll come out when she's ready. And I will always say to him, and to tell him, his friends and family, like I tell my friends, it is not time for her to come yet. Her due date is the 27th according to the doctors, and the 26th according to my ultrasound. She will get here when she gets here. So Nate calls himself extending his hands to my stomach, talking about some, come out, Bella, come out. And he would go like this. So then I said, okay, you keep playing if you want to. You mess around, she come out, what you gonna do? And he was like, she ain't gonna come out. So he kept playing with me like that, and we laughing and joking and stuff. So then, we just watching TV. And all of a sudden, it was just like, I don't even know how to describe this, but all of a sudden I heard a pop sound. It was like, and then water just came out. And then I looked at Nate, and I was like, Nate, I think my water broke. And he was like, nah, you playing. I was like, no, I feel water coming out. Now, none got on my bed. It was like saturating my underwear. So I got out the bed, and then I started to walk, and then more just kept pulling out, and it was coming down my leg. And so then Nate was like, is it really coming out? I was like, yeah. And I pulled my panties down. I showed him. And he was like, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit, oh, shit. He kept saying it over and over again. This man went and started packing up everything. Like, we already had stuff in the car, like the necessities. We had already packed up everything and put everything in the car that we needed for us to just basically get in the car and go. I don't know what the hell he was packing up. He just started packing stuff. And then he was like about to leave. I'm like, Nate, I gotta get my clothes. Where you going? He's like, I'm just so nervous. It was so funny, but he was like really nervous. So anyways, we get in the car, put the extra stuff in there. Nathaniel somehow lost the key to get into to start the ignition. And he's like, oh no, I don't know where the key is. He's looking underneath the car and the grass. He's looking everywhere for the key, because we can't go anywhere without the key. He's thinking, oh Lord, I'm about to deliver the baby. He started pulling bags out that were already in the car to look through those. Why would the key be in there? I don't know. Long story short, he found the key. It was dropped on the floor somewhere. And keep in mind, it's at night and it's dark. And I'm in the car and my water is just pouring out. And I'm not having any kind of pains or anything like that, but it was like gushing out. It was a consistent gush. And it was not like a little water. It was a lot of water. Okay, so we get on the freeway, whatever. I'm telling him he needs to slow down. He's so nervous. This man is driving like we're in driver's ed class. He's like this. We're going from 65 to 70, 75 to 80 to 85 on the freeway. I'm like, Nate, you gotta slow down because the police will pull us over. He's like, they'll understand. No, the hell they won't. Not here. They will pull you over, make you stop, and we're gonna have this baby in this car on this freeway. So Nate slowed down. We get to the daggone hospital. I was trying to tell him that the tour guide, when we went to the hospital before, said to go into a certain entrance when you are about to deliver because there's more parking there. So I'm trying to tell him to turn. He's like, no, I can go to where we went before. I'm like, no, just turn in here to this one part of the parking lot. So we turn in. This poor man was standing outside with his door open. He almost hit the guy. We pull up, have all of our stuff. Everybody's looking at us like, oh, well, they're about to have a baby. I'm like walking like I have something coming out of my vagina, because it's just dripping down. It was like my whole entire pants. I put on some sweatpants and they were drenched. That's how much water was coming out, and that wasn't even it. We get to in the hospital. Everybody's talking about congratulations. I ain't even had the baby yet. Good luck. I ain't even had the baby yet. We get to the second floor because that's where they said to go. They checked me in. I had pre-registered. So if anybody's watching this video and you haven't had your baby yet, I would strongly suggest, if your hospital offers this option, to please pre-register so you don't have to go through too much. They already have your information there. They put me in a wheelchair. They took me back to this room to check to make sure that my water truly, indeed, really broke. They put this like strip up there. There's, oh yeah, your water really did break. Then they wanted to check for dilation. This is when it gets really, really intense and interesting. This might have to be a part 2 video, guys. So I really do apologize about this, but it's so much that happened that I want to make sure I put everything in the video. So please watch both videos if you care to watch them. But okay, anyway, so they checked me for dilation and they were like, you're only 1 centimeter dilated. I was like, what the hell you mean I'm only 1 centimeter dilated? Because I thought that if your water broke, then it's inevitable that the baby is right there. Not true. Learned something new. So they told me that, you're definitely, because my water broke, I am in, I guess, active labor. You can't just send somebody home because the baby's going to come. You can't have a dry birth. So I had to stay. But I wasn't dilating. So what they said was, okay, well, what you could do is walk around, and then that should get your dilation going. So I had called my mother, and she was going to be on her way there, and it was just going to be me and Nathaniel, my mom, and I texted my best friend, and I really didn't want her to have to come yet, but she came anyway. But she didn't come till like later, but it was just my mom, Nate, and my little sisters were there as well, but they stayed in the waiting room. Okay, so keep in mind, my water broke at 11:50 p.m. We got to the hospital, which is 25 minutes away. In 10 minutes, I got to the hospital by midnight. By about 12:20, 12:30. And I don't know, because I have some other clips. I'm gonna do some other stuff so you guys can kind of be there with me in this whole process. I recorded some stuff. But around 12:30 is when I had got my room, my labor and delivery room, and when I began to do my walking. So they wanted me to walk for an hour. So I walked for a freaking hour. They came and checked me. I was still just 1 centimeter dilated. So they said, okay, walk again. And by then my mom had came, walked for another hour. So now it's probably like 2 o'clock in the morning, still 1 centimeter dilated. But with that being said, I was still having contractions, and these contractions were not of this world. The contractions were in my back. First of all, the pain was in my back, and it hurted, but it didn't hurt until this next little ditty happened. Okay, so as I'm walking through the up and down the hall or whatever, I'm like leaning up against the wall and just like breathing and things like that. It was bad, but it wasn't like that bad. But again, they were not of this world. Then they decide that because I'm still 1 centimeter at 2 in the morning, that they are going to give me Pitocin. I was like, oh no, because I know about Pitocin. That's like telling me, oh, you about to go to prison for a few years, or oh, we're going to kick your ass and punch you in the face, rip out all your hair, beat you up, and take all your money. And I mean, it's abuse to me. That's the feeling I get. And I'm exaggerating, but that's the fear that I had of it, because I know what happens with Pitocin. It's an authentic, what word am I looking for? Whatever. It's one of those words where they are trying to make it what your brain should already be creating, which is your brain creates oxytocin, which causes you to dilate. But Pitocin is the form and the man-made form of it so that it could get your dilation going. I really, really, really didn't want it. I was like, is there anything else we could do? There's like, no. So they gave me Pitocin. When I say those contractions came on, oh my God. It made me not want to have kids again. Seriously. Or a child again. But what ended up happening is my contractions got stronger, but they were not close enough yet. And the contractions that I had was all in my back. So I have been the lucky first-time mom to have back labor, which is the worst labor that you can have. It was all in my back. I didn't feel it anywhere else. I felt it in my back. So anyway, so again, 2 o'clock, they give me Pitocin. They come back at 3 o'clock to check me. I'm still not dilated. I'm still 1 freaking centimeter. They're like, okay, we're going to have to increase it. I'm like, increase the Pitocin? Because remember, these pains are so strong. Like, they were strong. They hurt it so bad. Like, it came up like this, and then the climax right here was where it hurt it so bad, and then it went down. Okay, guys. There is going to be a part 2 to this. So, I'm going to end the video right here, and then I'm going to do the part 2, and that's going to come up in a second.